Hi friends, my name is Jennifer. Welcome into my home and into my kitchen. Today we are going to be making some standard basic yellow mustard. I've been out for a couple of weeks now and I need to make some more. This is only the second time that I'm making it, and I am using a little bit different technique. Same ingredients, just different technique, and I thought I'd bring you along. Also doing a double batch, so I will put the single batch recipe down below for you, and I'm going to get everything ready to start that and be right back. Okay, friends, so the first thing we're going to start with is some mustard. I made mustard for the first time a month or so ago, and I really enjoyed the flavor of it, and it is a fairly simple recipe. The only thing is I didn't make enough, so I am going to go ahead and do that now. So what we have here, I'm actually doubling this recipe. So this is a 1.5 cups of mustard powder, and to this I am going to add, let me see, 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Now I'm using a little bit different technique than what I did when I made it the first time. The first time I just put everything in and cooked it up. This one I'm going to have the ingredients soak for a little bit. After the salt, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of turmeric. And this is part of what gives, this is standard yellow mustard, is the type of mustard that I'm making, by the way. And that is mostly what gives mustard its color, is the turmeric. And then I have some paprika, and that is 1/4 teaspoon of paprika. I can find the right measuring spoon here. So 1/4 teaspoon of that. And then some garlic powder. And this is 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. So that's mustard powder, salt, turmeric, garlic powder, and paprika. To this, I'm going to add 2 cups of water. I'm going to give this a whisk, and then I'm going to let this sit for about an hour or so. Maybe it just depends on, what all we have going on. I'm just going to let this sit, and then we will add the vinegar and then cook it. Okay, well, it has now been a couple of hours later that the mustard mixture has been sitting, and I'm going to go ahead and add the vinegar and start cooking it. Now, if you go to do this, you want to make sure that you are doing this in a well-ventilated area, because this does produce a mustard gas of sort. So we're going to turn on the vent and make sure that it's ventilating while we're cooking it. You're still going to smell it, and it's quite potent, but I'll bring you down here and we'll get started. So I added the 1 cup of vinegar in here and just turned on the burner. And this is another thing that is your kitchen, your rules. You're just going to cook this to the desired consistency that you want it to be. And once it's done, that's it. Your mustard's done. Once it comes to that desired temperature, I'll let it cool down before I put it in a bottle, because I have a plastic bottle. I think I showed you these before. that I put this in. And it is as simple as that. And I will bring you back in a couple of minutes once I'll let you know how long it takes. It's going to take probably more than a couple of minutes, but I'll bring you back when it gets close to that desired consistency. Okay, so it has been about 8 minutes, and I hope you can see that it is thickening up here. And I have to be honest with you, doing it this way, remember I said the first time that I made mustard, I didn't let anything sit for a couple of hours. I just mixed all the ingredients together, cooked it, and that created a really strong mustard gas. This just smells like a strong mustard. It's not fumey at all doing it this way so far. But I'm almost to the consistency that I would want it to be. Let me see here. Still a little bit runnier than I want. So, like I said, we're about 8 minutes in right now. And I have my temperature at like a medium high on my stove. So it took a little bit to come up to temperature, but it's doing it, and it is thickening up nicely. Now, I know the flavor would be really strong right now, but the fumes aren't that bad. I'm really surprised. I haven't had to turn the vent on yet. So I'm going to say probably a total of 10 minutes is where I would want my mustard, because I don't want it too thick. I want it to be able to come out of the squeeze bottle that I have for it. I could put it in a mason jar if, and just use a knife to get it out. But I bought those bottles specifically for my mayonnaise and mustard. So, all right, we're about at the 10-minute mark now, just about. Let's see here. So when I do that, just looking at the consistency there. And then plus, I think it will thicken up more. Well, I know it will thicken up more once it goes in the refrigerator and sits for a little bit. Or just cool down, I should say. Not necessarily sit, but just cool down and continue cooking as it's cooling down. Just wanted to kind of make sure that I did bring it up to a boil, let it bubble just a little bit. I can feel it sticking to the bottom of the pan. I think I'm right at where I want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off my burner. That was about 12 minutes, 12 to 13 minutes to bring it up to temperature and cook it. And I'm just going to set it aside, take it off the burner, and let it come to room temperature. So I'm probably going to give that about 20, 25 minutes or so, see if it comes down, at least maybe not exactly to full room temperature, but at least cool enough that I can put it in the plastic bottle. So I will bring you back when that is done. Okay, friends, the mustard is down to room, well, it's still not room temperature, but it's cool enough that I can put in the bottle now. And I have tasted it. And doing this method really took out that, like I said before, that it kind of had a horseradish type of heat to it. With this method, it doesn't, not even now. And it, the recipe says for it to sit for a couple of days so that that heat can kind of come down a little bit and it not be so heat forward. But this is delicious, and I think I'll be using this method in the future for sure. So I'm just going to, the spatula is falling apart. I am just going to go ahead and put this in the bottle. I just have a funnel here to make it easier. Obviously, I don't think this would be very easy to pour into a bottle without it. And a double batch may be more than this bottle can hold. Woo. And it is. So maybe I'll put, oh my goodness, I'm licking my fingers. I'm sorry. That is so tasty. Maybe I'll put the rest in a bottle. Let me, a jar, and give it away because I don't need that much mustard. I'll be right back. That's beautiful. So I think in the future, instead of a full double batch, maybe I'll just do 1.5 because the double batch was a bit much. I don't know why. It seems like a big difference between the last batch. The last batch I made with mustard seeds and ground those up. So I wonder if just letting them hydrate somehow, because this is way more mustard than the first batch that I made. So I'm not sure, because it was the exact same ingredients, just a different method. But this takes a little bit longer because you need it to sit, but it's all hands-off time. You know, it was just a couple of hours of it sitting there. You just kind of need to plan ahead for it. But this way, also, I think I can use it right away. I know I can use this right away rather than the other way that I did. It was really harsh, horseradish harsh right away. So I am super happy that I finally found a recipe and started making my own homemade mustard. So now I have my own homemade mayonnaise and mustard, and simple, easy. These recipes are super easy. Does not take a whole lot of hands-on time, and I'm real excited about that. So I hope you give it a try for your house and your kitchen and see how easy it is. It's definitely going to be cheaper than buying a bottle of mustard. Of course, this is not going to last as long as your standard store-bought mustard. My bread's almost done. But it's just as tasty, and you know what's in it, and it costs way less this way. So I hope you give it a try. Let me know your thoughts, your comments down below. What condiments do you make at home? Obviously, the next one to try for me is ketchup, and I've not found the right recipe quite yet, but I'm going to, and I'll share it with you, and we'll make it together. So again, thank you for coming along today as I made a double batch of mustard, and somebody's going to be getting some mustard from me soon. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Take care, friends.